Hello. My name's Sam and welcome to my channel Sew Let Sparkle with Sam, and today's episode is all about sewing friends. So I just thought I'd pop on today. Today is Monday and I thought I'd pop on because I have had the most wonderful weekend and there was a lot of sewing prep for the weekend. So I thought I'd kind of pop on, let you know what I've been getting up to this weekend and how the kind of sewing friends and sewing prep connects everything together. So I'm going to start on Friday. So on Friday, I was lucky enough to have a lovely visit from the absolutely marvellous Tamlin, who is sewing on the Tyne. So we had arranged quite some time ago, in fact, just after the Stitch Festival, that Tamlin would come for a visit. And yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And I knew it was going to be on Friday. In the meantime, I'd bought some fabric from her D-stash, which I haven't yet done anything with, but I have plans for. And you can, if you watch my previous videos, you'll find out what the plans are for those. But in the parcel with the D-stash was this glorious fabric that Tamlin sent to me. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll know I'm a little bit mad about eggs. So as soon as she saw this fabric, she thought of me. And yeah, and how lovely was it for her to send me this glorious fabric. It's a brush French terry. It's gorgeous fabric. I can't remember whether she told me where she got it from or not. I'm not 100% sure. So if I can, I'll try and see if I find out where she got it from so I can link it down below. And yes, and I paired it with this glorious ribbing that I actually got in a bundle from First for Fabrics. So, and I don't know about you, but I don't think I could have got a better match from the ribbing to the fabric. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So, true Sew Let Sparkle style, Friday morning I woke up ready and in anticipation for Tamlin to arrive, and then that is the time that I decided to make this top. As you do. So I was going through my kind of pattern stash in my head and thinking, what can I make? It was just under a metre of fabric. I thought, what can I make that I can wear that's fun out of this kind of type of fabric with that kind of amount of fabric? And lots of things were going through my head, and I suddenly thought, oh, I wonder whether the assembly line high cuff top will work, because obviously you use the ribbing, so you don't use too much fabric. Thought that might work. So I went and got my pattern pieces, and I found this, and as soon as I found this ribbing, I was like, well, I don't care now. It's definitely going to be a high cuff top, because it was almost like, oh, meant to be, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I cut a size medium. Now there was one little thing. So because I was getting out of such a small amount of fabric, as you can see, I have got a seam down the back. Does it bother me? No, not really. And it's down the back. So yeah, I had to cut the back piece rather than cut it on the fold. I had to cut it in two pieces, but that was just because I had such a small amount of fabric. But do you know what? I reckon if I'd had kind of a little bit more time and perhaps hadn't rushed into it, I may have been able to do it slightly differently and maybe piece the arms rather than piece the back piece. But actually, you know, I'm good with it. It's got these two little bust darts, which gives it this lovely shape. And then what I love about the high cuff top is it's got this kind of molded panel at the back, which kind of gives you, you know, a nice kind of like bum support, which is fantastic. And yeah, and I absolutely love it. So that was all made and ready, and then when Tamlin arrived, just before Tamlin arrived, popped it on, and yeah, and we had a lovely day in Leamington Spa. Yeah, it was really great. So we went for some lunch, we went for a little schmoozy around the shops in Leamington Spa, I took her to see Carolyn Rose where I work, and we had lots and lots of chats about things. And yeah, it was I also took her to my little crafting where I rent a shelf at Lots Bazaar. So yeah, it was a little bit of So Let's Sparkle show and tell with Tamlin, and I think she had a lovely day. I had a lovely day. Yeah, and it was really, really good. And it was just nice to know that that in her life, you know, she occasionally ventures this way. So hopefully we'll try and grab another snippet, because it was a fabulous day. So although I will pop some pictures of me in the top and me and Tamlin, we have got some plans, some kind of vlogging collaboration plans for the future, but we just wanted to spend the time being together rather than kind of being vloggers, if that makes sense. Although, you know, watch this space, things will happen. So yeah, so that started the weekend off with an absolute bang. It was just lovely, really lovely day. And being with a sewing friend really fills your cup. I don't think that it's hard to explain to other people how, you know, kind of just being able to have someone that inspires you, someone that kind of gets you, someone that understands you, someone that will not roll their eyes at you when you start talking about overlockers. You know, it's just an amazing thing to have. And I'm lucky enough that I have quite a few sewing friends. So Friday was just the start of it. So on Saturday, I packed my bag and I went to my sister's house. Now, my sister lives near to London, and we went to stay at my sister's. It was lovely. We had a lovely meal with my nephews. And then we woke up super early on Sunday because we were off to watch the London Marathon. And oh my goodness, what a day that was. So the London Marathon, the reason that I was going to the London Marathon was it was all about our lovely friend, Catherine, who is Soverton Makery. So she has been training super duper hard to run the London Marathon. And there's a little group of us that wanted to go and support her. And as soon as I knew there was going to be a group of us, I thought, right, I'm going to make matching t-shirts. So I decided on Penny's Fabrics on Facebook. She had this gorgeous fabric that had pineapples all over it. Now, pineapples has a very special meaning to Catherine, and it just kind of seemed to be appropriate to kind of have something that was special to Catherine on all of our t-shirts, so that she knew. It was almost like a hidden message to Catherine that we kind of loved her and was thinking about her, and, you know, we kind of understood. And so, yeah, so this is the fabric. So there was pink pineapples and green pineapples. And I bought 3 meters of the pink pineapple, and I bought 2 meters of the green pineapple from Penny's Fabric. It's a cotton lycra, so it made it very comfortable to wear. And I even made one for the lovely Mr. Sparkles, who came with us to be also, you know, kind of #1 supporter. And I'll pop a picture of Mr. Sparkles' green pineapple t-shirt here. So I made his t-shirt using the Jackson t-shirt pullover pattern by Helen's Closet. And and I just did a straight size. No, I didn't do a straight size for him. What I did for him was I asked him to get a t-shirt that he really liked and fitted him really nicely, length and everything. And then I laid his t-shirt on that pattern piece, and I kind of drew. So I didn't kind of like draw it all freehand. I just kind of took the right size from that. And I think it ended up being something like a 14 or a 16 or something like that. And then I kind of made it bigger and smaller where I needed to, kind of graded it in and out. I did have to add, he does like his t-shirts really long. I did have to add something like 7 inches onto the bottom, which is why I needed the 2 meters. I needed to add about 7 inches onto the bottom, and I needed to make the sleeves a bit longer. Yeah, so, but I basically used that pattern roughly and then made, and he was very, very happy with it. I have got a bit of that fabric left over, and I'm thinking I might make him some boxer shorts, because then he can kind of like wear it for bed, or, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, but anyway, back onto Catherine and the marathon. So I made the green pineapple one for Mr. Sparkles to wear, and me and Catherine and the lovely Katie, I'll get on to Katie in a minute, from Whatever Katie Sews, we all wore. Obviously Catherine didn't wear this while she was running the marathon. I'll pop a picture of what Catherine was wearing while she was running the marathon. But when she finished, because she could spot these in the crowd, I presented her with her own one. So, and I think it's safe to say that she loved it. So for our t-shirts, I used the Tilly and the Button Tabitha tee, because I thought actually it's a bit of a tried and true, and a t-shirt is a t-shirt, a ladies fit t-shirt. I did kind of secretly try and figure out what Tilly and the Buttons size everybody would be, and so I made them their appropriate sizes, and actually I'll pop a picture of all 3 of us wearing them. I think I did a really good job, because everybody's fitted well for the day. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with that. And here is mine, and I put a different label on the sleeve of everybody's. So mine said lovely jubbly, Catherine's said it's a good day to have a good day, which and Katie's was the you look amazing, with the llama on. So they were all the Cozy Club handmade labels on our sleeves. So yeah, Simon also had a label, but he didn't have his on his sleeve. He had it on on the back of his t-shirt, and I'll put a label up here and it says "You got this." So it's a little bit of a, "Whoa, you got this, Catherine." Not that Catherine was looking at his back, but you know, the sentiment was there. So yeah, so that was my kind of sewing prep for the London Marathon. I'll just pop this on my good friend over here. And yeah, so we met up with Katie and her husband in the morning. Me and Katie bumped into each other in the library while we were kind of, you know, somewhere to go to the loo and get ready for the day. And there was Katie. We'd kind of arranged that we needed a sign for Catherine. So I'd come up with a little kind of something punny to put on the sign. Katie and her husband had arranged to kind of make it, to kind of do all the graphics and stuff and make it look all beautiful and then print it off. And yeah, I'll pop a picture of the sign up here. So it was so exciting, and London was so busy. I did get a little tiny bit anxious. Not so much the crowds at the marathon, that was fine. But when we were going into public transport and tube stations, I did feel a little bit unsafe. But I was fine, and it was all good. And to be honest, I'd do it again for Catherine, so it was all fine. So when we'd arranged the kind of like marathon support group, we also, part of our group was the lovely Angela from Devon's Red Tails. Now, of course, sadly, she was planning on running the London Marathon this year, and it would have been so lovely to have been there cheering her and Catherine on the day. But unfortunately, she was not quite fit enough to run. But she was there supporting her friend. So we did manage to catch up with her and her lovely husband. Unfortunately, it was a little bit short and sweet, because obviously people run at different paces and different times. So she was going to support her friend, but we did manage to catch up, and we'd got an absolutely fantastic spot about I think it was mile 10 or 11, and yeah, we were in the shade and we could kind of, you know, really soak up the atmosphere, and yeah, and it was just lovely, kind of, you know, even though it was just a short time. Again, sewing friends are the best, and even if you only get a tiny amount of time with them, it's so special. So yeah, it was lovely to see Angela as well, and yeah, it was the best day. And yeah, so Katie then had said that she had a little gift for me, and she gave me this. So, Sunnyside Sam, because it literally has my name on it. And of course, everyone knows that I like eggs. I do love a bit of white chocolate. So yeah, I got a little. Sunnyside Sam is back and ready for a cracking Easter. Well, it's not Easter anymore, but I'm very, very happy. So I am going to be putting this in the fridge because that's where chocolate belongs. No arguments, please. This weekend in the fridge, and I will be enjoying that this weekend, or maybe in the evenings, you know, when you just need a little bit of chocolate. So yeah, I do need to say a special thank you to Katie and her husband Nick, because they were absolute superstars. They are Londoners, you know, so they got us round. They were absolutely fantastic. And without them, I think me and Mr. Sparkles would have perhaps seen Catherine once and then got lost. So yeah, they were absolutely brilliant. So at the end of this video, I'll show you all of the footage that we got of the day, and you'll be able to see Catherine running her little heart out. Yeah, and some other pictures of kind of what we got up to on the day. But yeah, so that was just an absolutely fabulous weekend. So this morning we stayed over, we went back to my sister's last night. We stayed over last night and we drove back this morning. And I'm here back in my sewing room for a lovely week of sewing. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about my lovely weekend, and I hope you get to do some sewing this weekend. And if you have a sewing friend that you perhaps haven't chatted to for a little while, why don't you go now and give them a little ring or a little FaceTime or a little cheeky Instagram message and just tell them that you really appreciate them. So yeah, don't forget to sparkle. See you really soon. Bye for now.